The business.
Look, I'm performing tonight, you know that shit gon' be packed. Pay me in advance and make sure that it's exact. My ex-girl will probably show up for the simple fact that tomorrow she could tell all of her friends it was whack. But fuck that, though, this about me. They say my whole fan base is missing ID, but the young trendsetting musician I be got critics giving up the recognition I deserve. Never bring your missus by me. I'm it, call me Mr. IT. If I get one wish, I'ma wish to die free. They say go ahead, ball like Mrs. Irie, and I do. The realest in my age group, no shit. Soho, Cosmo, by Mark, Blowfish. Let's make a toast, tell your friends come closer. Drinks on me like a coaster. We doing it big, look at what I done. Look at where I'm in, it's only just begun. Cause I was staying home when they was having fun. So please don't be surprised when they announce that I won. And this is how my speech go. I deserve this shit, I deserve this shit, I deserve this shit. That's all I gotta say, at the top is where I stay. And tell my haters never go away. The winner.
I met Joe when he was in the 6th grade at Sherwood Middle School through a good friend of mine, James Moore, better known as JG. He called me on the phone. Yo, cowboy, I got a stud. Man, I need you to come up here and see him. So I came up there, came into his PE class, watched him play. He was very athletic. And that was in the 6th grade. I met with him, took him home. He introduced me to his grandmama, Miss Lily Cox, great young lady. And that relationship then just grew. It all started when I took him to the Reebok headliner, and it was in Chicago, and they invited 125 kids, and they was giving away 5 spots to go to the Reebok U, and he came into that camp saying there was a chance for him to get on the scene. They chose 5, and he was one of them. So I thought politically that he was gonna get screwed, but they couldn't screw him that weekend because he went there and just laid it down. And on that second day at the Reebok U, man, his name was all over the internet. And that's basically what he wanted to see. He wanted to see his name. He wanted to hear Rivals and Scout and Hoop Scoop talking about Joe Jackson. We in Orange Mound on Park Avenue, home of 8 Ball and MJG. This is the street. These are the streets where Joe was originally from Orange Mound.
His middle school coach, Coach Moore, James Moore. I knew Joe was playing basketball because when he didn't come home at right time in the evenings from school, or sometimes he would tell me he had a game. I knew that. But he called me one day and asked me, he said, Miss Cox, he said, why don't you ever come in your grandson's game? I said, well, for one, I said, I don't know when his games are. I said, he never tells us when his games are. He said, well, Miss Cox, he said, you need to come see him. He said, I think you'll be proud. I said, well, okay. So we tried to sneak in a game. His 2 sisters, we tried to sneak in a game one day. And some of his teammates saw and said, Joe, there go your grandmama and your sister. But the game was probably in second quarter, so he did good, but I think when he looked, I could just kind of see a little shyness or a little, nervousness in his face. So when he started going to White Station, he still wouldn't really even give us a schedule. Coach Patino had to send me a schedule and tell him to give it to me. And I said, well, Joe, how come you don't let us know when the game? He said, well, he told me, he said, Grandma, he said, I don't know. He said, I think I might get nervous. He said, I just feel I might be nervous. I said, well, baby, regardless whether you do good or you do bad, you still come home with me, And so then after that, I had 1 year I had 2 or 3 AAU coaches to come to my house. They almost bumped heads, wanted to get him to play on their team. And that's when I realized, I said, well, he's doing good.
Joe Jackson is the epitome of hard work. He realized at a very young age that one mistake can jeopardize his entire future.
College basketball is life right now for me. I feel like if I wasn't playing basketball, it'd be really tough. But you know, that's just God work. You know, He gave me this gift to make the best opportunity I can out of it. That's what I'm trying to do. A lot of stuff just went down in my life. It was gonna be a decision whether I'm gonna go live with my mom and dad, and, you know, be in that environment where I'm always at a risk to get in trouble, or come over here. It's still a risk. We ain't that far from the crime, but we move like a couple streets away where, you know, I don't have to really just, it's my decision if I choose to go down there, and I'm taking a risk, but I was born into the risk. You know what I mean? The project, you know, so I know both sides, you know. So I just try to stay out of their way. I already know what type of stuff go on, and you gotta just leave all this stuff to them. You gotta just be yourself. Hoop. Yeah. And people struggling, and they feel like you probably be struggling just with them, but basketball is overriding all this, so they feel like you just bigger than them. I don't know why, but you really not. You not. Even if you're in the NBA, you just made the right decisions in life to do what you gotta do to survive. But you know, some people just want to see you down. You just gotta stay away from them type of people. And like, I done went through a lot of stuff on that, but you gotta just stay away from it because people just don't want to see you do good if you're doing better than them. That's just how life is.
That's all I gotta say. At the top is where I stay, and tell my haters never go away. The winner, the winner.